Yeah, so what we know is the fire department has left at this point, but at one point here, there were several, we believe, water rescues that took place at this apartment. We are at the the City View Apartments. This is on Limbar Drive in South Nashville, not too far from Harding Place. And this is where we've seen still a lot of activity. You may be able to hear some of the alarms still going off here in the background. This is where I'm sure fire doors have been open and people have been just trying to get out. But let me show you, if we can, exactly what may have caused some of this. Steven, my photographer, come walk and talk with me down here. This is a small creek that runs back behind the apartment complex. It's not a creek anymore. It's a river. You can see all the debris that...
now that's out. So that's... And speaking of damage that's already been...
It took place at this apartment.
Coverage now this morning. Justin, I know you just got to an apartment complex in South Nashville. They had a big evacuation there. Give us the latest.
Yeah, so what we know is the fire department has left at this point, but at one point here, there were several, we believe, water rescues that took place at this apartment. We are at the the City View Apartments. This is on Limbar Drive in South Nashville, not too far from Harding Place. And this is where we've seen still a lot of activity. You may be able to hear some of the alarms still going off here in the background. This is where I'm sure fire doors have been open and people have been just trying to get out. But let me show you, if we can, exactly what may have caused some of this. Steven, my photographer, come walk and talk with me down here. This is a small creek that runs back behind the apartment complex. It's not a creek anymore. It's a river. You can see all the debris that has been stopped here at the back, but the water itself rushing back here, and a lot of stuff in it. We believe it was all this backup back here, and when this overcame, this is where a lot of the debris and the wash-up ended up coming out. You can see children's toys, buckets and coolers. These are all things that belong to people. And wow, yeah, okay, wow. And I'm sorry, we're discovering some of this live on the air with you. It's easy to see. Air conditioners flipped over. Wow. Okay. And forgive us, everyone, this is live. We're live here on Fox 17 in the back of these apartments. This is where it's clear these rescues had to take place. The back end windows all had to be broken out so that firefighters can get inside and do what they needed to do. We haven't seen any people around. That's because all the people have been moved out. But you can imagine the nightmare. Look at that. That's water in there still, Stephen. Right inside this window. That's someone's bed. And around the other side of that bed is nothing but a puddle of water. And puddles being generous. That is deep water there. That is still inside of this apartment. And the wall is caved in. You can just imagine the nightmare that was here a few hours ago when the water overcame. Oh my. Hopefully everyone is okay. We have not been able to get an exact count from the Nashville Fire Department, nor have we been able to talk to anybody here at the scene yet. But, you know, the pictures tell itself exactly what happened here. Someone lost their entire, if they didn't lose their life itself, they lost all of their possessions tonight. Very, very sad story to see here. Again, this is at the City View Apartment on Limbar Drive here in the south side of Nashville off of Harding Place. Here's another one. Someone's living room. Not anymore. And I'm not sure if there's a lot of refuge on the second floor. I don't know exactly how tall. We can kind of see a water line there a little bit, so you can tell exactly how high the water may have gotten. So we want to try and chat with some people who may have gone through this. But clearly this was a nightmare that became a reality here in South Nashville. And now all of these people have to find somewhere else to go. We're going to go live back to you guys in the studio.
Justin, thank you very much for that. I'll tell you what, that's our first view, Katie, of just how severe the damage is there at those apartments. I mean, when you're talking about entire industrial-sized air conditioning units for an apartment complex that are flipped over.
Yeah.
That's a lot of water force.
Right. And I think something that people don't realize until it's too late.
Yeah.
How powerful water is.
Right.
Again, we were talking earlier, only just 6 inches can sweep a person off their feet, an adult. And 12 to, depending on your car, 12, 14, 15 inches of rain can sweep a car away. So hard to see images like that where
Really
a lot of folks' possessions, air conditioner units, those are not light.
No, I mean those are typically bolted into concrete.
Right.
I mean they're in there, and
right.
I was just thinking, Katie, so it's Sunday now, but even when we were warning everybody about this code red situation,
Flash flooding threat.
just to give you a little bit of perspective, I had it Portland Bar. So let's check in with Justin right now. He's at City View Apartments.
Yeah, good morning. So let me tell you what's happening right now. We got people who are doing the best they can to try and wade through the water. And this gentleman, we just met him a few seconds ago. He's trying to help his friend get things out of his apartment. And so that's where he's heading in to right now. Look at that. So apparently what's been happening is the water's been rushing in through the back of the building. They're saying that the news is here. They're alerting people to our presence here. The water's been rushing in through the back window and then rushing out, and now they're doing the best they can to try and get all their belongings. And can you imagine wading through water like this, trying to get all your stuff out? That's what's going on right now. That's what people here in Nashville are doing right now. Again, this is the live apartments here, the Live View Apartments, where we are here this morning. This is where the City View Apartments on Limbaugh Drive in South Nashville, just off of Harding Place. I'm trying to wait until maybe somebody else comes out of the door. Try and talk with them about exactly what's been happening here, because the pictures here are absolutely amazing of things we've been looking at. Here's another woman coming down the stairs, just trying to figure out. I think everybody is okay. Yeah, I think the fire department has come and gone. The water's pretty high. Did you just wake up and find all of this out?
I didn't sleep.
You were sleeping the whole time?
No, I was texting, messaging you guys that come in here, say rescue people. So I was the one, me and my husband, we keep looking at your, channel. We was the one calling you guys to come in here and see it, because we just can't, we don't sleep.
What happened?
Actually, we was in the rain and we saw this flooding. We almost, it was not that bad. After we see a lot of flooding, then we trying to call 911, but we did not get serious. After that, we could not come. We trying to come downstairs, but the firefighters said, do not come downstairs. It's dangerous. So that's why we stopped there. We don't come.
Wow. How high was the water at one point? How high?
My husband's car is damaged. Now he doesn't have no more car. His damaged car and everyone's car, it was hilarious, man. And the lady was crying. The lady was crying so badly. I was feel so bad for her. So I hope everyone downstairs, we are worrying about them, downstairs people, is everything damaged? I cannot believe that, man.
All the water's come in through the back side of the building and everything has been flooded out.
Everything. The way I was, because we are living third floor, when we saw everything, we was praying nothing happened to anyone. It's so scary because we never see this kind of flood in Nashville. This is the first flood we see in Nashville. Yeah. I hope everyone is okay over there. I feel bad for them.
Yeah. Down on the bottom floor, it looks like they may have lost everything. But you're on the top floor, and the water didn't get up, obviously, all the way to you, but you were trying to help everybody else.
Yeah, me and my husband, we was looking at that TV. We were trying to see if everyone was helping each other, so I'm so thankful to you guys, and thanks to all to Firefight. Thank you so much to you guys who come in here and rescue. Thank you so much for your hard work.
What was your name?
Fazila Mama.
Spell that, please.
Fazilla, Mama, M-A-M-A, and my husband's name is Bishar Karam.
Thank you, Miss Mama. We appreciate it very much. All right, so there we heard directly from one witness right there who saw this whole thing, talking about just how bad the water got here at this particular apartment complex. And we can still hear people inside trying to do the best they can to get all of their belongings out after this flooding took place. As a matter of fact, here comes another gentleman here. Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
I don't know. Depends on how you doing.
I'm doing well. My house is just underwater.
So what happened? What happened, man?
I got a call from my wife, and she couldn't open the door because the water came in from the other side, and the door was shut. I had to break the door down and got my family out the best way I could. And right now, I'm trying to find my car keys, because my car is down there, but I lost my keys, trying to get them out the house. And that's where I'm at now. My family's upstairs at his apartment. I got a newborn child. Like I said, they were standing on furniture. I had to break the door down to get them out. And yeah.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. So you're looking for your car keys now and just trying to...
I just found my wallet and my phone was underwater. I just came down here to get that because my main focus was getting my family to safety.
So you broke down the door?
Yeah, apartment B104. Yeah. I broke it down with a hammer. I just got in there the best way I could.
Wow. I'm sorry, sir. What was your name, real fast, man?
My name is Michael Harvell.
Spell that last name, sir.
Harvell.
Mr. Harvell, I certainly hope you get the support that you need after all this is over. Because
right now, like I said, my family is at his house upstairs. And I need my car keys. Because that's all I got left. Everything's gone. Everything's gone.
Mr. Harvell, I hope you get the support you need, man. Thank you so much, all right? Appreciate your story. All right, so that's what's happening here at the, at these apartment complex here in Nashville. As you can see Mr. Harvell and his friend just trying to find his keys.
Justin, I heard you mention...
we've all lost our keys at one point.
Yeah, for sure. Heart just goes out to them and the desperation that they must be feeling right now. Two questions for you. I heard you mention, Justin, that the fire department had already left. So do you mean to tell me that there are no first responders there right now that you've been able to see?
No, Jen, there are no first responders here at all. The fire department has already left. There is no, Metro Police is not here. The Nashville Fire Department is not here. These folks...
They said Red Cross wasn't coming until after the storm.
They said, Mr. Harvell saying... You can hear them saying the Red Cross said they were not going to come until after the storm.
Yeah, I can hear the frustration.
They said that right now they're just on their own.
Well, that is so frustrating. I wonder if there's anything that...
So, I'm sorry, Mr. Harvell, real quick. You said the Red Cross is not coming until after the storm.
That's what the apartment, the complex sent the text out and said that the Red Cross is not going to come until after the storm. So, as of right now, we're on our own. I'm glad I found my wallet. At least I can go to a hotel now. Now I can't even have my keys, so I can't even get to the motherfucker.
I understand, sir. I understand the frustration is understandable.
Absolutely. We can just hard to put yourself in their shoes right now to feel that frustration. Justin, I wanted to let you know that we just heard as to why there are no more first responders there. Apparently they had to leave to go to other water rescues, but man, I hope maybe somebody watching can get out there to the City View apartments. If you have a way to do it to help these folks. I mean, that guy's just trying to find his keys. Secondly, Justin, I have a question for you. Can you tell where that water is coming from?
Oh, Jen, we showed you, and maybe we missed it there, on the back side of this, and maybe we can see it from up here. Stephen, my photographer, come on up. It's easy to see where the water came from. You get a view out the window here, Jen. There you go. That's where the water came from. It's no secret. This is not hard to figure out.
Okay.
The water overcame the creek here in the back and came flooding in through the bottom of the apartments. That's what happened here.
Gotcha.
That's what happened here. So when you live, and the water is still rushing hard right now.
Okay.
So when you live close to one of these things, you just got to be aware that these are the kind of things that can happen, even though they don't happen very often.
For sure. Hey,
and,
Justin,
this is the cause.
I just pulled your location up on my map. That is Sorghum Branch. Sorghum, like a sweetener, right? SORGHUM.
Okay.
Sorghum Branch. And I can see it on my map, right, like you mentioned, just behind that apartment complex. Had anybody that you, I know you talked to those couple of folks, had they, and the one woman said she'd never seen anything like this, but I can't help but wonder if this has happened there before.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure about the history of this particular complex and what this looked like in 2010, obviously.
Right.
I can't imagine that this happened now and didn't happen back then.
Sure.
But we were covering so many other locations at that point. I'm not sure exactly if this apartment complex was here then or not, but I'm sure it happened at that point. And Jen, there's one thing I want to show you, Stephen. I want to go to the parking lot. I want to show how the cars have shifted. And this is something I've been wanting to bring up. Even if Mr. Harvell found his keys, and I don't know what car he drives, but even if he found his keys, well, I don't know. Did you find those? Well, somebody was looking for. Hey, hold on.
Oh boy!
You don't know who it is.
I was watching.
Hold on here. Hey, Mr. Harvell! Mr. Harvell!
I just seen on the news.
We don't know. It could be anywhere. So you saw us on the news?
I seen us on the news a while ago watching TV. I said somebody lost keys. I just found some.
So you saw it on the news and came and walked over?
Just watching it.
Okay. Hold tight. We're going to see if we can get Mr. Harvell back out here in a second. Trust me, he'll come back. Just hold tight, sir. He'll come back out here in a minute. Jen, what I wanted to show you, and hopefully we can have a happy ending with that, the cars have shifted here, Jen, and so even if Mr. Harvell did find his keys, you see this? I mean, they're bad parking jobs, but I don't think people park this badly.
Right.
The water came, and these cars started to float.
Yeah, pushed them.
And when they
right off the
floated,
ground.
they shifted over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if Mr. Harvell did find his keys, I'm not sure how bad the water damage is on a lot of these vehicles here, and if the cars are drivable or what the deal is. But this is just something else that these folks are going to have to deal with
for sure
after this is over.
You know, Katie was talking just a few minutes ago, Justin, about how much water it takes to move a car like that. 6 inches to move a person, you know, knock them off their feet, maybe up to 12 inches of water to move a car. So, yeah, for sure. That's... Man, now, okay, can you go back
how much water was out here?
Yeah, can you go back inside and see whether, I mean, how incredible would that be if it turned out to be Mr. Harvell's keys that guy found? That would be awesome. For starters, at least a little peace of mind. Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. We're trying to shout for him, but he's down there. He can't hear us because of the alarm.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for him to hear us here. Yeah, they're in there trying to move things around, sir, is what they're doing. The whole time. Mr. Harvell! Mr. Harvell! We got somebody may found his keys. So we're yelling for him to come out here. And you know, where did you find these keys, sir?
They was right by my car parked down the road at apartment A down the street.
Apartment A down the street?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't know maybe if it got that far. I know Mr. Harvell heard us, but it could take him a while to get all the way back out here, Jen, depending on how deep he was or depending on exactly what he may have been doing all the way in there.
Sure.
At that particular moment. So I know he heard us because he responded to us.
He mentioned something about having a baby with him, didn't he? That they were trying to get to safety?
Yeah. Yeah, all the way up on the third floor, we believe that's where his family is staying up there.
Okay.
With his friend, the friend that was helping him look for the keys. They're now staying up there in his apartment. So that's where he's talking about, where he's got the rest of his family is up there at this point. So nobody's trapped, it doesn't sound like, at this moment right now. Here we go. Are these the keys?
Got my keys. Got my keys. I'm on like, hey. I'm on, okay. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
That's amazing. This Harvey, hey, man.
That's all I need right here.
Hey, I'm so grateful that at least that part of this is over.
Yeah, well, I'm just happy my family is safe. That's more important than anything. Everything else is secondary. As long as my family's safe, now I can move around at least.
You hope.
Yeah. Well, I parked my car down there because, like I said, my wife called me and the wall collapsed. The wall collapsed on her, so the phone, I got disconnected. So I did like 90 miles an hour on the highway to get here. because I lost contact with him. So I got out the car and I ran through all the flooding water and got to my door, and the water was up here. You see, it was to this level when I got here.
Yeah.
They was in the house standing by the door because they couldn't open the door, and the creek is right behind my house.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get out.
Wow. Real quick, and I know you got a lot to do. That creek back there, has that creek? How long have you been here?
I've been here for 3 years. And when I moved in, somebody had told me the last time it flooded that the downstairs was underwater then. So I was kind of skeptical of that, but I'm like, how often do that happen? I've been here for 3 years, and this is the first time it's ever done that.
Wow.
I said, I don't got nothing. My house is, everything's gone.
That's a temporary circumstance, Mr. Harvell. You're going to recover, sir.
Yeah,
That's a temporary
my
circumstance.
family's alive. Hey, I can complain, but nobody's going to listen.
Well, we listening, sir. Hey, listen, don't say that now.
Hopefully somebody hear my cry for help.
Hey, listen, somebody was listening and they brought your keys over, okay?
Yeah.
So don't say nobody's listening to you, sir, because that's not true, okay?
True that is. Well, until Red Cross get here, like I said, I guess the storm ain't done yet, so
right.
Whenever they get here, maybe they can help us a little bit. But right now, I'm just happy everybody's alive and we're safe. And I appreciate you guys, too.
All right.
Wow.
Thank you, Mr. Harvell. Appreciate it, man. It's all good, man. All right.
Justin,
Jen,
what
back to
an
you guys.
absolutely unbelievable set of circumstances. What a blessing. It's like a miracle that you just witnessed firsthand. Listen, I got to we say all the time here at the station that Justin always happens to find these incredible stories. We're going to let Justin go here for just a minute because, Justin, I imagine you might want to talk to these gentlemen off camera to kind of get this story. But, Justin, thank you so much for bringing us that incredible,
understood,
again, set of circumstances. We're going to let you break away for just a minute and, work to tell this story. We'll check back in with you here in just a few minutes. For those of you who are just now waking up and joining us, I want to set the stage for you for just a moment. Justin McFarland goes out to South Nashville to the City View Apartments. This is off Harding Place and Lynbar Drive. Justin gets there. He finds people are still in this apartment building in the lower floor and they're stranded. They've lost everything. Now, they got their family out safely, but Mr. Harvell, who you heard him talking to right there, was searching through about, I don't know, what would you say, 2 feet of water trying to find his car keys. And so we were with him as he was trudging through feet of water trying to find his car keys so he could get his family out. Well, another guy happened to be watching our broadcast. He saw Justin talking to Mr. Harvell, who was looking for his keys. Another complete stranger happens to be down the road at the apartment complex and finds a set of keys and brings them to Justin, who is doing a live report. And what are the chances that they're Mr. Harvell's keys? It gives me goosebumps.
Crazy. I know.
I mean, it just gives me the chills.
Our jaws were on the floor.
We all were in here just, are you kidding? This is happening. But again, listen, stories of resilience, stories of strangers helping people and doing good things. It is the Nashville way. It's what this community is about. And I know we're going to recover. It's hard right now, but you've got to find those little glimmers of hope. Justin, thank you so much again. All right, right now, it sounds like we've got someone else on the phone for us this morning to help us tell the story of what we're dealing with. On the phone with us right now is Kathy Farrell. Kathy is the Public Information Officer for Smyrna. Now, Smyrna is a little south and east of where Justin is right now. But Kathy, give us the latest on what you're experiencing there. What are you seeing?
Absolutely. Good morning. And listen, I just watched that segment, and what a great story of neighbor helping neighbor,
right,
in that community.
Yeah.
So here in Smyrna right now, we have our fire department and police department personnel monitoring the roadways. We do have some sections. One section closed. We have 3 areas that are reduced